Hello everyone. How's your week so far? I hope all your online classes are doing great. Okay. Now before we're going to start, let me remind you again, make sure you have your pen and your notebook with you. Take down notes of all the important details and all the things that we're going to discuss in this topic. Alright, make sure you understand all of it, and if you have questions, feel free to send me a message and I will be very glad to answer you right away. Alright, now once you open this, also by the way, make sure you comment the word present so that I will know that you are already online. Okay, thank you for that. Next, our topic for today, we will be discussing two things. What are those? First is proportions, second is law of exponents. Now, what is a proportion? There's a lot of definition about proportion, but we're going to use this an equation involving two ratios. Now, what is a ratio? A ratio is the mathematical comparison of numbers using division. That is what you mean by ratio. And you have there that is x is to. It is read as x is to y. So it means to say you compare x to y. Okay, so if you talk about proportion, there will be two ratios involved with an equal sign in between. Here's another definition for proportion. It is simply a statement of two ratios are equal. So let's have an example here. Look at this. A over B is equals to C over D, or A is to B is equals to C is to D. So therefore it is A over B is equals to C over D, or it is A is to C, B is equals to C is to D. Now if you have here 20, let's have an example here. You have 20 over 25 is equals to 4 over 5. Why? Yeah, why? So you're going to do is you almost cross multiply the two. Once you cross multiply the two, it becomes 20 times 5 is equals to 4 times 25. So this is 100 is equals to 100. So therefore, these two are equal. So from definition itself, ratios are equal. Now let's have an example here. If you make 20 pancakes, you're going to use 2 eggs for 20 pancakes. Now what if you make 100 pancakes? How many eggs do you need? Alright, so if you have a simple equation here, which is 2 eggs is equals to 20. So therefore we have 2 over 20 is equals to how many eggs you need if you're going to make 100 pancakes. Alright, so what you do is, first is you cross multiply the two. So therefore you have 2 times 100 is equals to x over 20. Yeah, now in order for us to only have x here in this side, we divide both sides by 20. Alright, so divide both sides by 20, so we cancel 20 here. What is left here is x. Now you have here 2 times 100, so it becomes 200 divided by 20. So therefore x is equals to 10. Notice they're the same. So the first step that you're going to do is you cross multiply. Second, simplify. This is a simple algebraic equation, alright, an algebraic solution. Alright, next guys, we will discuss about exponents, power, and indices. Now what are exponents, power, and indices? Exponents, alright, exponents are the shorthand of repeated multiplication. Repeated because you're going to multiply, for example, 2 to the power of 2, you multiply 2 by itself twice because of this, so it becomes 2 times 2. If you have 4 to the power of 3, so means to say 4, you are going to multiply it 3 times because of 3. So 4 times 4. It is repeated because the number is being repeated based on its exponent. That is what we call exponents. That's a function of exponent. Now we have certain rules when we try to solve using rules of exponents. Okay? The first one is rule of 1. So it means to say any number that you multiply to 1 gives you the same number. It's a mirror. Right? When you consider 1 as a mirror, when you look at it, all you can see is yourself. So therefore, any number that you multiply to, any number that is raised to the power of 1 gives you the same number. Yes? Okay. So therefore, there are rules of 1. First, you have to remember two things. Any number raised to the power of 1 equals itself. It makes sense because the power shows how many times the base is multiplied by itself. Second, 1 raised to another power is logical because 1 times 1 times 1 is equals to 1. So therefore, for example, you have here the pattern x to the power of 1, of which x could be any number. Alright, x could be any number. So if you raise, for example, 3 to the power of 1, that gives you 3. Alright, that gives you 3. And you have to remember, guys, secondly here, and a 1 raised to the certain power, it gives you the answer is always 1. So that's the first rule of exponent, rule of 1. Second rule, product rule. From the word itself, product means to say you are multiplying. Alright, product rule. Exponent product rule tells us that when you're multiplying two powers that have the same base, alright, mark the word, same base, you can add the exponent. In this example, for example, the pattern is this. Look at the pattern. X to the power of m times x to the power of n. Notice the base are the same. They are both x. And the exponents is different, m and n. And the result will be copy the base. Alright? The result will be copy the base, add exponents. So therefore, 4 to the power of 2 times 4 to the power of 3, copy 4, add exponent. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So that's why you multiply 4 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so the answer is 4 to the power of 5. That is a product rule. Third, we have the power rule. Alright? And power raised to a power. A power raised to a power. For example, this is the pattern. Alright? xm multiplied to n, it gives you xmn. Alright? A power raised to another power, you multiply the powers. So 5 raised to the power of 2 raised to the power of 3 becomes 5. 2 times 3 is equals to 5 or 6. So you multiply this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, this is what we call power rule. Next, quotient rule. Quotient means from the word division. You divide. Alright, you divide. So therefore, if you have x, look at this, x to the power of n divided by x to the power of n, it is xm divided by xn is equals to xm minus n. As long as this one is not equal to 0. Alright? As long as that one is not equal to 0. So when you have a division and you have the same base, you have to subtract exponents. So if you have 4 to the power of 5 divided by 4 to the power of 2, you just cancel common terms because it is minus. So that's why you have now 4 to the power of 3, or 4 times 4 times 4. This is what we call quotient rule. Next rule, zero rule. Zero from the word zero. So it means to say an exponent of 0. Any number raised to a power of 0, the answer is 1. So therefore, look at the pattern. As long as this one is not equal to 0. So if you have 2 to the power of 0, the answer is 1. 300 to the power of 0, the answer is 1. So no matter how big the number is, but when the exponent is 0, the answer is automatic 1. Next, last one, negative exponent. What is negative exponent? From the word, alright, from the word negative. So negative exponent is that you have an exponent that is negative. So if you have x to the power of negative n, Yes? You have to make this one into positive. How? You have to put it on the denominator. So therefore, this one becomes 1x to the power of n. What if it is 1 to the power of x negative n? So therefore, you're going to change this to x over n. Alright? That's how this negative exponent is being done. Alright? So that's the last exponential rule that you have to remember. Alright? First is the rule of 1. Second is the product rule. Yeah? Second is the product rule. Next is power rule. Next is quotient rule. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is zero rule. And the sixth one is a negative exponent. So remember all those 6 rules of exponent so that you will be able to simplify any equations or any expressions that is raised to a certain power or index. Alright, so you have to remember, exponent is also called power. Exponent is also called indices or index. Exponent is also called roots. There is a lot of names. There are 3 other names, but the rule that you're going to follow are the same. First, rule of 1. Second, product rule. Third, power rule. Quotient rule. Zero rule. And negative exponent. I mean, there are 7 rules that you have to remember. Okay? There are 7 rules that you have to remember. So these are the 6 basic rules of law of exponent. But when you try to memorize them, when you try to simplify algebraic expressions, it becomes very easy because exponent becomes very handy. Okay? Now before we're going to proceed, let me review the things that we discussed today. First, we discussed about proportions. There's a lot of definition, but proportion simply states, it is a statement of 2 ratios that are equal. It means to say you have to compare 2 ratios that they are equal. That's the use of proportion. Second, exponents. What is exponent? It is a shorthand of repeated multiplication. So it means to say, when you try to multiply a number based on its exponent, you repeat the number by itself based on its number of exponent. So there are 6 basic rules in exponents in order for you to simplify them. The first one is rules of 1. So any number raised to the power of 1 gives you the same number. Second rule, product rule. If you try to multiply same base with different exponent, all you have to do is copy the base, add exponents. Third rule is the power rule. Power rule is a base raised to an exponent and an exponent raised to another exponent. So it means to say, you have 2 exponents. What you do is you copy the base and multiply the exponent. Okay, copy the base, multiply the exponent. After that, you simplify. Now the fourth one is the quotient rule. Quotient means division. It means to say when you try to divide 2 numbers, again, the word is the same. The word is same base. All right. If the bases are the same, all you have to do is subtract the number. Subtract the exponents. And so that it will be clear, you can expand the given equation and then cancel common terms, and what is left behind, that's your final answer. Now the fifth one is the zero exponent. Any number raised to the power of 0 gives you 1. No matter how small or large or big the number is, if it is raised to the power of 0, the answer will always be 1. Now the last one is negative exponent. Any exponent that is negative have to be made positive. It's either you move it to the denominator or you move it to the numerator. That's how you simplify exponents. So I hope the discussion today is clear. If you have any questions, feel free to write a comment in the discussion box and I'll be very glad to answer your questions. And once again, after you watch this one, I have attached a practice worksheet. Make sure you answer that, submit it on time. And I need you to take photo of your notes, send it to your group line. And third, prepare for a quiz next meeting. All right? I hope everything is good. Okay, guys. Thank you.